Hello, this is HCG 77 checking in. I know it's been a while. Today is day 19 for me on my round 1 phase 2 of the very low calorie HCG protocol. And I've had some crazy things happening that I just kind of wanted to see how they were going to work out before I reported back. What had happened was on probably day 15, I was seeing that I was getting ready to run out of my hormone, the HCG, and I was scared that I wasn't going to have any. And so I had gotten on message boards and was asking some questions and different things, and I was told that it was very unfortunate that my friend had told me the wrong way to mix and whatnot. And or I guess I will take responsibility. I didn't mix it correctly. And so I was running short, which means I must have been giving myself a higher dose than I realized all this time of my HCG. But I was told that I was going to have to phase out and go ahead and go into the phase 3 of the protocol, where I would be basically doing, you know, kind of like an Atkins type of thing, no sugars, no carbs, and try to stabilize the weight at that point. But I knew I did not want to do that. I was bound and determined that I was going to find a way not to have to do that. I knew that I had already placed another order and I was just waiting for it to arrive. And so what I ended up doing was diluting what I had, because I knew it was already too strong anyway. So I diluted it. I put a certain amount in that I felt would last me until the day that I had prospected getting my new order, and it worked out. But the time being, the time that I was taking the diluted HCG, I was stalling. I guess my body wasn't used to that lower dose. I don't really know. I've heard sometimes when people go lower that it actually speeds up their weight loss, but for me it didn't. Maybe there just wasn't enough HCG left in the bottle to be diluted enough to make a difference. But I had stalled for about 4 or 5 days, it looks like, about 4 days, where I was really getting discouraged. Even though I was following the diet like I was supposed to, drinking my water, I was still, on day 17, I only took 1 dose because I was afraid, you know, I didn't know what to do. I was trying to conserve my HCG. I did lose, that morning I woke up and I lost 0.9, almost a pound. But then the next day I was up 0.1. And then the next day, on day 16, I was down, I'm sorry, yeah, I lost 0.1 again, so this is back and forth. And then on the day 17, I was up 0.2 pounds. Day 18, up 0.1 pounds. But then that was yesterday in the middle of the afternoon is when I got my shipment. So last night I took the actual dosage that I'm supposed to be taking, and woke up this morning and I was down 1 pound, well, 1.4 pounds. So that's roughly 1 pound 7 ounces. So I'm thinking that it was just not enough hormone in there, but I was just determined that I wasn't going to stop my, you know, my round 1. I wanted to keep going the full 40 days, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm hoping that, you know, tomorrow's weight will be, you know, another drop. So that makes my total weight loss at 13.6 pounds. So a little over 13 and a half. So that's good. That's not bad. That's day 19 though, with a stall. I just thought I'd share that with you, that, you know, don't just, you know, resolve to stop the diet if something goes wrong. Look for other ways of getting around it so that you can meet your goal. And you know, I've been trying to meet, I've told you guys I've had a hard time meeting my caloric requirements of 500 calories, and I've increased my vegetables so that I can get the 500 calories. I do think that's important. And so I'm doing better at that. I'm drinking my water every, just trying to think if there's anything else that I can tell you. I think that's all. Feeling pretty good, not too bad. And I guess I will check in with you guys in a couple of days and let you know how it goes from this point on with my new order from alldaychemist.com, which is cheaper than some of the other companies out there. It's worth taking a look at their prices. And it didn't take any longer than my first order that came from Pharmacy Escrow. So I'll pass that little tip on to you as well. Alright, until next time, take care.